There is a silent, heavy question that haunts millions of us as we stand in the middle of our lives. Am I too late? It hits you when you scroll through the highlight reels of younger generations, the instant successes, the early retirements, the wealth created seemingly overnight. You find yourself doing the dangerous math, comparing your current bank balance, your stagnant career path, or your lack of significant assets against the phantom timeline you were supposed to follow. That comparison is poison. It breeds a unique kind of shame. Not shame about failure, but shame about delay. The crushing, sinking feeling that the race was run, the prizes were awarded, and you are standing at the starting line, years after the gun fired. Maybe you look back at the wasted opportunities of your 20s, the financial mistakes of your 30s, or the sheer lack of strategic vision in your early 40s. You calculate the compounding interest you missed out on, the business ideas you never launched, and the pivotal decisions you postponed. This tally creates a crushing internal weight. That weight is not just financial debt, it is emotional debt. It is the paralyzing belief that the door to true, lasting abundance closed sometime in the past decade, and now you are merely managing the leftovers. We are told that wealth belongs to the quick, the early, the unburdened. We internalize this narrative, that wisdom is slow and wealth is fast. But what if I told you that this entire framework is the greatest financial myth of our generation? What if the age you've spent calculating those regrets is actually the exact age where the truly strategic, deep and sustainable wealth-building journey must begin? This is not a video promising overnight success, and this is certainly not permission to dwell on the past. This is a profound psychological recalibration, designed to shatter the self-imposed limitations you've built around your financial future. We are going to expose a truth that the traditional financial world never talks about: the deep, practical, emotional advantages that only experience, maturity, and a few scars can give you. We are going to prove that the age you perceive as your liability is actually your most potent financial asset. Think about it. You possess emotional discipline the 20-year-old version of yourself couldn't dream of. You have a deeper understanding of risk, having already survived volatility. You know exactly what doesn't work. The accumulated experience you carry is not baggage. It is highly personalized, invaluable market research. This wisdom dramatically shortens the learning curve. You may have started saving later, but you can save smarter, pivot faster, and hold a vision with greater clarity than those who started prematurely without the necessary emotional maturity. In the next moments, we are going to look beyond the superficial metrics of the stock market and dive into the psychology of enduring wealth. We will uncover the hidden curve of wealth that every successful person follows, but few are willing to openly discuss. We will discover how to harness the energy of past regret and transform it into unstoppable forward momentum. This journey is not about catching up. It's about recognizing that you were simply waiting for the optimal moment to start. So if you've ever looked at the calendar, looked at your career and felt that chilling, sinking sense of too late, then stop everything. You are exactly where you need to be. Because the age you feared had disqualified you. That is precisely the moment your financial mastery actually begins. This is where your true story of abundance is written, and it starts right now. Now let's drill down into the physiological and psychological advantages you possess right now, the ones that defy the conventional wisdom about youth and opportunity. Conventional financial narratives often pedestalize risk-taking, associating high risk with high reward and assuming that a younger person's recovery time makes them better suited for volatile decisions. However, the true landscape of wealth building is not a series of wild gambles. It is a masterclass in calculated consistency and emotional regulation. This is where your maturity becomes the unparalleled differentiator. Building upon this premise, consider the concept of cognitive load management. Younger people, while often quick to absorb information, frequently struggle with filtering noise, making them susceptible to the constant barrage of fleeting financial trends and speculative fads. Their cognitive energy is often dispersed across trying to keep up with everything. In sharp contrast, the experienced individual, having already navigated economic cycles, understands the principle of focused effort. You possess the innate ability to zoom out, to identify the core levers of lasting change, and ruthlessly discard the distractions that derail others. This focused attention reduces your cognitive load, freeing up mental bandwidth for genuine strategic planning, a capability directly correlated with higher net worth outcomes. Furthermore, we must examine the hidden power of delayed gratification fortification. While delayed gratification is difficult for everyone, true mastery of this skill is only forged in the crucible of extended adult responsibilities. Mortgages, unexpected healthcare costs, and the need to financially protect others. This sustained pressure doesn't just teach patience, it hardens your resolve against impulse. When faced with the temptation of a frivolous purchase or an emotionally driven investment decision, the weight of your lived experience provides a psychological anchor. This anchoring bias, unlike the negative kind, is protective. It means you are statistically less likely to derail a 5-year financial plan for a 5-minute dopamine hit. Conversely, think about the strategic depth your network provides. Early in your career, your connections are often transactional and lateral, other novices trying to figure things out. Now your network is vertical and tested. You know who delivers, who is trustworthy, and who genuinely understands complex systems. The true value of a mature network is not merely volume, it is quality of access. This grants you an advantage in identifying genuine opportunities, accessing capital, or securing mentorship that is simply unavailable to those just beginning their journey. Wealth creation in this modern era is rarely a solo sport, it is highly collaborative. Your established reputation and proven reliability act as a currency that far surpasses immediate cash availability. Another crucial layer is the transformation of financial discipline from a chore into an identity. For the young, saving and budgeting are often temporary constraints necessary to reach an arbitrary goal. For the mature adult, financial stewardship becomes intrinsically tied to purpose, stability, and dignity. It moves beyond mere arithmetic and becomes a deeply internalized value system. This shift means that the effort required to maintain discipline substantially decreases over time. It's no longer a battle against your own nature. It becomes second nature, a reflexive alignment with long-term security. This internal shift in identity dramatically reduces the effort required to maintain high-level financial habits, making your recent start far more effective than an earlier, more volatile attempt. Consider the reality of time compression. Because you are now operating with heightened clarity and focused intent, the results you seek can materialize dramatically faster than they did during your meandering early years. You are not starting from zero in terms of human capital. You are starting from a position of profound intellectual and professional equity. You've refined your skills, understood your market value, and recognized the true cost of time. Consequently, the same investment of energy that produced marginal results 10 years ago now yields exponential returns because it is deployed with surgical precision. This is the ultimate advantage of starting later, not haste, but focused acceleration fueled by wisdom. The clock isn't counting down, it's marking the precise moment you acquired the mental tools necessary to play the financial game at a master level. Your age is not the measure of lost time, it is the calibration point for peak performance. Reflecting on this journey so far, we begin to recognize that the pursuit of financial mastery is less about finding a shortcut and more about achieving internal alignment. We've peeled back the layers of societal pressure and self-imposed timelines, witnessing how experience refines capability, not diminishes it. This newfound clarity, the ability to discern signal from noise, acts like a powerful lens, focusing the diffuse energy of past years into a single, high-intensity beam. It is the very mechanism by which years spent accumulating general knowledge now rapidly convert into specialized, high-leverage strategic moves. The scattered pieces of the puzzle, once confusing and disparate, now snap into place, guided by the magnet of accrued emotional intelligence. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes significantly clearer. What might have felt like a vast, unnavigable ocean of choices transforms into a well-charted harbor. That persistent psychological anchor of regret, the feeling of should have done more, now pulls taut, not dragging you backward, but holding you steady against the temptation of short-sighted gains. This is the synthesis point, where psychological readiness meets financial opportunity. This unique convergence is why the effort deployed today, at this precise juncture of maturity, yields geometric returns, far surpassing the linear progress achievable in earlier, less centered stages of life. The true secret lies in understanding that your financial ascent is no longer predicated on merely working harder, an outdated and often exhausting paradigm. Instead, it relies on leveraging smarter. The maturity to say no to low-yield endeavors and yes to high-impact decisions is a currency richer than any portfolio. Think of this process as the maturation of a fine vineyard. The early years require raw growth, constant pruning, and intense labor. But the later years, those that produce the truly exceptional vintages, require patience, deep soil knowledge, and precise, minimal intervention at the perfect moment. You are now entering that vintage season of your life. Bringing these interwoven threads together, we see a powerful truth emerge. The perceived late start is, in fact, an optimized deployment phase. You are armed with resources, discipline, network quality, and emotional stability that accelerate your trajectory. The conventional financial timeline, fixated on age, overlooks the monumental advantage of a truly focused, seasoned mindset. It misses the inherent power of the individual who has navigated uncertainty and found resilience on the other side. This is not about scrambling to catch up to an arbitrary metric. It is about establishing a foundational structure so robust that your future growth is inevitable, protected, and sustainable. As the noise of the outside world fades, what remains is the confident awareness of your own leverage. The internal landscape has shifted from one of scarcity and comparison to one of calculated confidence and strategic patience. Every lesson learned, every financial stumble survived, now functions as protective intellectual capital, mitigating future risk. This accumulated wisdom ensures that the energy you expend now is channeled with purpose and efficiency. This moment, which felt like an ending, is revealed to be a powerful beginning, the initiation point for a wealth trajectory defined not by haste, but by unshakable mastery. The stage is set. The preparation is complete. The only thing left is the confident deployment of this hard-earned wisdom. The final realization awaits, redefining what financial abundance truly means for you right now. The narrative we have dismantled today, that wealth belongs exclusively to the early starters, is replaced now by a more profound truth. The real measure of financial destiny is not defined by the calendar age you started saving, but by the emotional depth with which you now approach your resources. This is the difference between accumulating money and mastering abundance. True abundance is the seamless merger of strategic capital with emotional calm. It's the quiet confidence that your greatest asset is not located in a spreadsheet, but in your ability to navigate the inevitable volatility of life without panic or paralyzing regret. Your age, your experience, the very years you once viewed as delays have been essential seasoning. They have fortified your capacity to sustain success, not merely achieve it. Think of those younger entrants. They are often building wealth on a shaky foundation of unexamined beliefs and impulsive decisions. Their early gains, while impressive, often lack the psychological scaffolding required to endure true financial winter. You, however, are now equipped to build not a temporary structure, but a fortress. You understand the long game because you have already witnessed the consequences of playing the short one. You possess resilience, which is the most overlooked compound interest in the world of finance. The journey ahead is less about accelerating your pace and more about deepening your alignment. It is about understanding that financial mastery is a daily practice of consciousness. Every spending choice, every investment decision, every interaction with money is an opportunity to reinforce this mature identity. The identity of someone who is worthy of security and capable of sustained growth. Let the image of the race fade. You are not competing against a timeline or a demographic. You are engaged in a personal evolution. The wealth you build now is deeply rooted in purpose and stability because it is built upon decades of internalized lessons. You are no longer chasing arbitrary goals. You are manifesting a life that is truly aligned with your mature values. Look around you. The tools are ready. The wisdom is acquired. The clarity is unprecedented. The age you feared was too late to begin is, in reality, the pinnacle moment of readiness. It is the moment where fear transforms into leverage and regret becomes the ultimate motivator. This is the point in your life when your financial story transitions from a struggle for survival to a legacy of deliberate, unwavering design. Take a deep breath. Feel the weight of the past lift, not because it is forgotten, but because its lessons have been fully integrated. You are not defined by the time you lost, but by the intentionality you bring to the time you have left. The wealth you are creating now is not just for your retirement. It is a profound declaration of self-respect. The work of true financial self-mastery begins in this exact moment of realization. It is the realization that the most powerful asset in your portfolio is the person you have become through the long process of living. You are ready. The real practice begins now. Go, thrive.